any kind of oil spill have on the wildlife, and why is it so important to get them cleaned up?
Well, birds are protected from the environment by their feathers. And oil, even in relatively non-toxic oil, like the vegetable oil that was lost here, it impacts the feathers. When birds in healthy conditions, feathers are all working right. It's like wearing a really nice down coat that's waterproof. But when oil gets on it, the water can now get through the feathers and get onto their skin, and they start to cool off really fast. And at the same time that they're getting cool, they're also having to preen more and spend less time feeding. So they're getting hungry and cold, and that can spiral down to a hypothermic condition where they ultimately can kill them. So getting that oil off the feathers, restoring the feathers to a waterproof condition, and then being able to re-release the animals is important to their survival.
And what's the process for cleaning these birds up?
Well, generally they have to be captured first, and in this case they're using a lot of different traps. Then they're taken in and they measure parameters on them about their health, and usually they wait a day. They try and hydrate them and get them healthy enough so that they can endure being washed. And once they're healthy enough for wash, then they use soap, Dawn soap, and wash the birds in various baths, clean the feathers, and then they dry the animals, and then they have to put them through a series of tests where they put them into water and see if the waterproof character of the feathers has been restored and that the animals are stable. They have to, once they've done that and they check other blood work and other health parameters for them, then they know whether they can release them.
And the purpose of today's event is to take these birds that were doused in oil a couple weeks ago, and
yeah, a week ago or whatever it's been. These are the first ones to get all the way through the process and now be ready to be released. And conditions are good enough now that the pond is clean enough that we can release them without too much worry they're going to get re-oiled, which is always a consideration.
okay.
So the last time that you guys had birds that you had to clean off and do something like this with, I understand that this may have been the first in some time.
Well, last March we washed birds over on the east side, Sunnyside. That was an actual petroleum oil spill. A couple years ago in Auburn, there was another spill of hydraulic oil, I think it was, into a similar kind of retention pond like this, and birds were washed in that case. But this is one of the larger number of wild birds that have been brought in a number of years, even though it was a relatively small spill.